Hi folks, we are in round 4 of the Thrones World Cup, and we actually don't have that much action recorded from this round, but as promised I will bring you one of my own games. So in round 2 we watched the Bara Kohor deck, and this time it's time for Night's Watch. I think my game against Israel was probably the most exciting I had with this deck, and as you can see it's Night's Watch Valyrian Steel. It was a tough choice because Night's Watch got hit with a pretty harsh restricted list just before the tournament, so all of their many options were kind of hit so much that it was really questionable which was the best deck. But at the same time, Night's Watch Valyrian Steel actually got some help in the last restricted list, so not surprising, a lot of teams defaulted back to this, and try to find some kind of edge compared to last year, so can't include a restricted plot anymore if I have the Hob. I know some teams dropped the Hob and went for exchange, which is probably a decent option, but no father in this one, replaced with the pointy end, which I guess at least with that plan to follow it with Morgulis kind of does the same thing in a little different way, I guess. And yes, what else is new? So Bowen Marsh is new. I tried so many Night's Watch decks in preparation for the World Cup, and that included some Shadows, and I really liked Bowen, and I tried my best to incorporate him into this. I played 3 copies for some time, but it just doesn't go that well with the rest of the cost curve. So in the end, 2 copies, and he was great actually. Probably the card that won the first game against Night's Watch, so I'm not at all disappointed that I included him, and the rest is quite similar. So the game is against Targ Conclave with the big dragons, and I have here 2 copies of Fresh Recruits, and I found in testing that quite an interesting play is for the Ranger, instead of taking either Benjen or Old Forest Hunter, depending on the situation. Those are the 2 most common targets. I can just take Garrett, and he needs the faction card, so that stops the 8 cost Daenerys bringing Dragon in, and it also stops Outwit being played, so I can do Harris if the big dragons are in play properly, and Outwit cannot stop it because the faction card will be nailed. So in testing I found that to be quite an important play, and of course I have Harris and Morgulis. Morgulis not so good against that deck because there could be healing expertise somewhere that you don't know about, and of course Kerwin can be in play. The Harris though is really decent against them. And then Palace of Sorrows, there is some burn, and you can outnumber them, and of course big dragons are really difficult to defend and oppose and do anything against if Palace of Sorrows is not revealed. But I found generally that if I get the wall into play and defend it, it is a good matchup, and I win most games. But the Targ deck does have some counterplay, so the games I lost was in testing, I mean, was where I got aggroed a little bit. So where is it? This one, the Field of Fire, everything gets -2, -3, whatever it is. So I found that it's really important not to just stick every attachment on Seasoned Woodsman, but maybe spread it around a little bit so that this doesn't hit. But if it does hit and then Drogon is there, yeah, most of your board can go. There's also Put to the Sword, which you can't really defend against that well. That can hit Craster or something. And the other way to lose really easily is if the dragons are in play, you can do Harris them, and then suddenly Dragon has 3 heads is being played, and Stealth, Renown, Intimidate, that can really speed up the power gain. If they all get multiple power, of course they stand as well. And even with Intimidate and Stealth can lead to some unopposed that wouldn't have happened otherwise. So that's another option a Targaryen has here to win. So it's a pretty long game, so let's not spend that much time going through the decks. Let's just have a look at how the actual game went on the day. So the situation in the round is we desperately needed a draw against Israel to finish second in the group and make the cut, and the previous game was the fourth win for us, so we've achieved that. So we are playing for the win here basically, but it makes no practical difference for us. So there's nothing really that much at stake here. So no econ in the opening hand, but I do have the wall, which I just decided to play because it's such an important card. Of course, we have at the gates for econ anyway. And well, single card setup for my opponent, but it is Drogon, so immediately have to kind of start planning around him. It's not killing much right now. And yeah, I do have initiative in this deck, but it's really nice to open with the Maiden to beat late Summerfist. It sucks immediately going first, but with 0 econ it is tempting to just go at the gates. I've decided that maybe that one Rose Road is kind of good enough. I'll just go for it and then at the gates next time. Citadel is immediately going to find Marvin. Marvin is one of the key characters, probably the key character I found when I had hits only the reducer. It's unfortunate. I found that when I had a milk available, it's always best on Marvin. Does way more there than it does on Daenerys, for instance. So happy that he is not in play yet, and happy not to see Bravos, which in this deck gives so much econ. It's routinely something like 5 gold. Okay, Kerwin's in play, Meisters are in play, so there's no more Coolest Window, that's for sure. And what do we do? See what Woodsman brings us is usually the play. I guess if we just play Aemon, then military claim doesn't matter that much. Question is, how badly do we want to defend the wall? Because if we do, then we need to get some more characters out. And that means gaining gold as opposed to drawing cards here. Well, Emmet and Meister Aemon would do it, right? Or this. Yeah, not bad to just play that. It increases the reserve value. Maybe we'll get cards for late Summerfist here. Don't have the Shadow Tower Mason online, and he might have to die, to be fair. Because if I want to defend the wall, then Aemon can't kneel here. 0 gold, no way to get it, I think so. No threat of put to the sword. Yeah, there is a decision here that I always have to make in round 1. Whether to give up on the wall. Drogon's knelt, so I can do challenges back. And often that actually gets more power in the end than defending the wall. But this is now a Conclave trigger, which is not that fun. I think it was gonna happen anyway. And now if there is Marvin stuck in there in the under the agenda, he can be brought forth. A really good late summer feast draw. Okay. Let's hope we don't lose him. Our Tetrasalt with Blackbird is amazing. Craster was the next best card, to be fair, so didn't want to lose him at all. It's gonna be what the Harris and two Morgulises played. In the end, I think I get slightly more out of this than out of just defending everything. But from next round onwards, I think we do have to defend the wall, and we should be able to. So now the biggest concern is that Drogon there, and I think and the gates next. Now what's been set up? Something big? We don't know. Okay. Yeah, since there is no location, it's tempting actually not to give Conclave here any additional econ, but I can't live with one Rose Road either, so I'm just going for Gates of the Moon. We're gonna draw nicely now with Woodsman, I think. And yeah, Sarion's there. I would like to get that Garrett or Fresh Recruits. I think I have an old Bilbon as well, right? So something that can kneel the faction card and allow me to play the Harris, because if they are now here with those two events, Field of Fire and Dragon has 3 heads, that's one way to lose the game for sure. Glad to get Craster back though. I think he could be a priority now. Oof, and he stops my wall. He probably won't stop the underground vault, but we can put that to the test immediately. Yeah, only gains me 1 though. It's a bit harsh. And now if I want to play Craster, I might want to actually do attachments first on the Woodsman. Okay. Ooh, okay. Milk is really valuable in this matchup. I think I have to take that. I mean, it could go on more and more to have the wall trigger, but it's one to save for Danny or Marvin, I think. I can play Long Claw on the Woodsman and then get the goal to play Emmet. This on the intrigue icon, okay. That helps me because more and more might need to be standing. And I think we have to draw a card. Bit late for him though. If you want the Long Claw gold. We still have the Woodsman trigger though, so could in theory play Long Claw now. Okay. Fair enough. I mean, it is a strength boost that is gonna be nice as a surprise. I do also have Tetrasalt gold if I want to use Blackbird, although usually the plan is to use Blackbird, use his ability to kneel Blackbird in dominance, and then he avoids resets and gets replayed. Still no gold, no High Road, no Meister Kedri, so I'm not getting put to the sword. Defending with the Tricon instead of the Woodsman, because if anyone's gonna get Longclaw, it's the Woodsman, and he could go into a winning challenge. This is awkward now. This is really awkward, because Drogon's ability will potentially kill, what, 4 characters. One save for Aemon, then there's still military claim happening. So I have to stop that now. So Halder's in play, but I have what? Blackbird and... Well, Blackbird can actually just be used to get Tattersalt out. That's that problem solved, I think. But then I have Insubordination and 3 characters that die. So I can put in Longclaw. That's another Halder trigger. If I put that directly on Halder, which I don't necessarily want to do, but maybe I have no choice, then he also is saved, and I trigger the 2 Halder triggers for Shadow Tower, Mason and Aemon. I think that saves everyone. I have to make a lot of inconvenient things happen here though. Could also go on the Chad here, because he can die and I can get it back. Although if Halder's gonna stay, maybe he is not that bad with Longclaw either. Not the worst draw. Have to use Insubordination as well, which will allow Gorman to do the intrigue. Ooh, okay. I guess I'm thinking more and more is 0 strength, so it's gonna just block it and it's pointless. Yeah. Not a good round for me. But at least I completely stopped Drogon doing anything with that first Field of Fire threat. 2 more to go, I guess. Now can't stop this. And more and more attacks anyway, so Insubordination still can't trigger. Yeah, no way around that really. Oh. That and the other Crester copy were the best cards. Yeah, Milk's really good in this one. And there's only 1 copy. So when Marvin enters play, he will do so much work. Okay, power challenge still left, so if Viserion does it, I can't really stop him. If he doesn't do it, then I do my 2 challenges, right? And one of them is gonna be won, whichever one doesn't involve Viserion. Now I can do both. And in terms of power gain, it's still not too bad. Losing heavily on the board state though. And takes the Gormudup. Well, there isn't really any better claim soak, so... and Gatri now, and I'm not sure he's sticking around. There's only 1 copy, I think, in the deck. But he might. Citadel triggers in taxation. Still doesn't find Marwyn though. Crescent's not that bad. He will put 2 cards under the agenda for Marwyn later, I guess. We have 1 palace. Gives us some safety from that happening again, and there's 2 big dragons now that are tough to deal with if we don't play palace. But then it's gonna be awkward after that. Okay. Not the worst cards, but now I don't have a woodsman trigger in marshalling. Maybe find that with Tattersalt if he finds an attachment. Pretty low gold, but if Bravos comes in at any point, it's already 4 gold, I think. Three gold left, oof. Yeah, put to the sword is still playable, but at least on the palace turn I should be able to stop it. I think there's also higher mysteries, right? Though, okay, you can bring more bigs in, but the hair is still looming. I don't have my Garrett, I don't have fresh recruits. Those were some of the key cards in testing, so it's a bit unfortunate. So I think we have to do Tether, so let's see what we get. If I just play that milk on more and more also would have been just better in hindsight. Ah, okay. I see the plan now. We are not gonna do Tether in marshalling because palace turn means catapult can kill anything. So we see if my opponent walks into that first, and if he doesn't, then we can Tether if there's still gold. Actually, even we can even get 2 back if it's specifically if it goes on woodsman. It's not the best guy to take catapult in the grand scheme of things, but maybe not too bad either. Hmm. Well, it's tempting, but I want Drogon to go in the challenge. Actually, that would be better. Still can kill Corvin. He's 1 save. There's also healing expertise, so can get 2 gold for Tattersalt as planned. And you can do this first, see if there's a save, and then declare defenders. Okay, but that spends healing expertise. I mean, it's much less likely for there to be another one now. Still not gonna Morgulis when Viserions duped and Kerwin's there though, so not the best. We spend this, we've achieved not much, but okay. Get the Monocon to defend this one even if you don't get Renown. Ah, that was the plan, okay. Well, she can immediately actually get the third one, right? That's unfortunate. Five, but at this point I'm kind of losing. Gets a Drogon dupe. So what happens with that? Does the dupe go to hand? That would be pretty good actually for my opponent here. Or even if it stays, it's not too bad. And she has stealth, so Craster can't defend. Yeah, that means I either have to spend Daemon or Tether, so it has to come out. Well, Nightmare is the best card. Sworn to the Watch on Woodsman gets me drawn, but yeah. I can fully defend it. At this point she has Renown as well. Fully defend it and claim the Reducer if military comes. Okay, I'm gonna keep my power icons, see what more and more does. That's also a legitimate choice. Decent cards in hand, but nothing as good as what I had discarded earlier for Intrigue. And Nightmares goes, okay. Yeah, that's good on Muradmur is good on Drogon. That's too bad. Maybe should have just defended the hand here, but I mean power gains with the walls not triggering is really important here. And now either I win power or I get the wall. Ooh, this is a good one, because the Harris puts dupes in the discard pile and you can come back. I think there's one copy of Unexpected Return, so that's a good hit. Could be two, I'm not sure. Can't get any gold to win dominance, but still kind of ahead. Just the board's getting big and outfit's still available, so it's awkward. If there's dragon has three heads, it's not gonna be fun for me. I can point the end with Sarion's dupe. Give myself a chance of playing Morghulis at some point. Yeah, but seems kind of pointless. Seems like something I will never do. So we go with the Smith. If Bravos comes in, we can nil it, but it's an econ plot, so. Okay. Was gonna do that if it wasn't used immediately. And there he is. Well, I better get my faction card nil now. I have to do Harris this board. I think in all the test games I had it by this point. I mean, There's a lot of draw, and you can draw him naturally, you can draw fresh recruits, or you can draw all build bone. And yeah, I don't like the sight of that high road now. Don't have a ghost either to protect myself against put to the sword. Have my waltz this time. Can need the high road, sure. And let's go with that Dragonglass dagger on Woodsman, right? That's usually the play that you do immediately. Tattersall up, not the best. Oh, but Bowen is potentially good here. He can come in and call Drogon on military. There is off to Galtown in the deck, so he's a threat on other challenges as well, but yeah, just stopping the obvious is not too bad. I have multiple triggers even with Bowen and Tattersall. And Pinch now as well. Can do a lot. But I need more cards, so Tattersall comes out immediately, and I think now I have either Nightmares that can be played on Drogon, or I take, or more and more, or I take that Sword, because Sword every round gives Woodsman draw. It's an investment for the future. 28 minutes left. It will draw way more cards long term, but Nightmares super useful short term here. And this time this can just be Claim Soak before he escapes the board. And okay, we're not bowening this round. We're gonna do it next round. Or after the Harris, if Harris is ever played. I mean, at this point, I think idan-cool will have to consider that I'm thinking about the Harris. I have 3 plots left and I can't Morghulis, so at some point Outwit has to be played, and here's the thing I didn't want. 3 dragons in play, all with Intimidate, Stealth and Renown now. Well, at least I'll be adding Light Summerfist cards, right? Gold spent, so not getting put to the sword. What's the card in shadows? I think when I studied the deck I found that there's not that many, so maybe I knew what it was here. Can't tell you now. He's not killing anything right now. I can even trigger Benjen. More power again. Ooh, a save, not bad. Keeping Benjen in play. Could have killed him, then defend the wall and Nightmares more and more, that's a lot of power. Okay. If I even can defend the wall. Well, one of them will be left standing, right? But they're stealth, so I can get Tattersalled in and out of shadows in theory, but it's so costly. To the point where it's probably not even worth it. I mean, at the end of the day, more and more is just gonna be there still standing, so. Yeah, okay. Not letting them stand again. It's pretty decent. And the save goes. I feel like I'm losing above average good cards there for the entry climb. But still not bad. And now I go behind. And this is going to continue as long as these dragons are in play like that. It's not really sustainable for me. Although when Regal goes back to hand, it's not easy to replay him actually, because Bravos is not in play and hasn't been all game. How do we defend this guy? Frankly, I don't think we do. So he's gonna win by 8. This is 9, yeah. It's the only way for him not to get intimidated. He can do power back. Second bow, and at this point probably not needed that much. My opponent's up to 11, but some of that's going, right? So I will win power back now that Tattersall's so big, and Regal's going, so. Ah, oh, this is still there. Ooh, okay. I really doesn't want to lose intrigue. Was that a misclick? Or is there a way to defend still? Well, so it looks like it's gonna be another disasters round. Yeah. I don't have anything else that can come in, so Voldup also not the best. Still 9 cards under the agenda, and Marvin's there, so we need to survive now. Can't use Blackbird in dominance this time, which is another awkward thing. And I still can't do Harris because outwit's there. I think my opponent's probably now thinking, if I have another round here like that, I can close, and that means outwitting, which means I have to delay do Harris, survive, and then I can do Harris. And some power will go, and a lot of board presence will go. Still have to go second, I think. I think Pointy End will get outwitted on Danny just to save the power, so it's pointless thinking about it. If I played Morgulis, maybe that wouldn't get outwitted because of all the dupes. But, yeah. But now, ooh, Garrett, 1 round too late. Well, now outwit's gone anyway, so he's not doing anything. That's really sad. But now we have to do that Bowen pretty aggressively, and then he's in play to get the Harris. It's not too bad to have a dupe now, actually. Can play 1 Bowen and then keep the other one for later. 20 minutes left. And Drogon, Rhaegal just marshaled normally. Is Marvin getting duped? Yeah. Maybe he could have held some of this back, but him thinking this is potentially a closing round. I mean, if there's another dragon has 3 heads, it's really tough for me. But there's 5 icons on all the dragons, so I can do 3 with Bowen. Need to leave myself some gold though for that. And I can Craven Daenerys, she has Renown. I don't know what else she has. Does Viserion also give her stealth? Stealth on the power icon. Still have enough gold, so I can draw more cards. I think Bowen doesn't need to be duped here. Although I do have to also play around my opponent's Morghulis, right? I think it should be a winner you die into the Harris if there's another round. I need 7 gold for those 3 cards to come out of shadows. And I have a bit more even now with Old Forest Hunter. Action window, let's see. If a dragon has 3 heads is played, yeah. It's good that that's played immediately. I can actually have it be wasted here a little bit, right? Yeah, he could be kept out. And Drogon for sure. And that means Viserion has his 2 icons and he can't stand. Oh, okay. Maybe we let Drogon attack. But what if Field of Fire gets played? Oof. How about that Rose Road? Could take Blackbird, it's a shadow trigger. Maybe should have taken Blackbird there. So we're gonna stop Viserion actually going into a challenge. And if we can pinch more and more, we can even trigger the wall. Do I have ambitions to do Strangler? Perhaps. But now Rhaegal can go in a challenge, but nothing else is going in a challenge, no other dragon, so he can't stand anything, right? And can't stand himself. I mean, it's just a one-time use with Stealth, Intimidate and Renown. I hope that's enough to prolong the game. Can't really suffer any unopposed and any additional Renown. Rhaegal has Renown, he's gonna win a challenge, I feel. Unless I can do magic with Halder. put to the sword is a legitimate concern, but I think depends what the power situation is. If bench and defense, he stops that, I can trigger him before the harassing, get to power. It's a power icon gone though. Am I thinking maybe to win with Halder? Stops Renown, stops Intimidate. This seems like not the best plan. It's another power icon that's gone. At the moment I am losing with... Okay, something's gonna be played. I am losing with no Intimidate happening because I'm losing by 0. Okay. Just gonna do one Halder and see what's the card that's gonna get played here. Nightmares on Halder. Doesn't bother with the wall. Doesn't want another strength boost happening, and yeah. I don't think I have that much with Halder, honestly. Just Nightmares on the wall is the same thing almost, but yeah. Okay, I'm losing this one. But nothing additional is dying unless Drogon goes in a challenge, which he can't, right? There's not gonna be any off to Gartown now. So much of the board is 0 strength now and can't really oppose. And yeah, I lose by 4, which will hit Halder. Think we kill Benjen because the hair is coming. He's a big one to carry through that. Gives me some power. Pretty sure Halder's going. Craster goes. Oh. Stealth and Intimidate and so much boardings on 0 strength. He will return to hand with his Renown, so my opponent needs to close here. If he's gonna win, he's not winning with dominance, but maybe actually he's thinking I'm not gonna close, but I'm gonna get Regal back to hand and replay him after the Harris. I have to use Strangler to defend the wall here, or to get to have it be opposed. Power challenge still happening, right? So that would have been game actually if I didn't oppose this one. Assuming power can be done successfully, which I think there's Gormon still there, he can attack, so should be a possibility. Or maybe not actually. Potentially gonna put that on Daenerys to push power back if she tried to defend. But now I don't think I can push power back with what's still there. I mean, Viserion's still there, he's not attacked, so... I think I can win on defense at least, with what can still attack. It's just Gorman and Murenmur's not gonna attack, I don't think so. Yeah. Murenmur does attack, but the wall is still standing, and I have 5 on defense, right? Is there anything that ruins this plan? I don't think I could have pinched Murenmur. 7 on defensive and there's a dragon glass dagger. And I got insight. Well, not gonna play 2 rounds for that dupe to matter. Or we could maybe, I mean 8 minutes and a half. If the Harris goes quickly, but I don't think it will. I think we're gonna be grinding a lot. Surprised my opponent let me trigger the wall here, I think that was stoppable. Gonna have Tethersolt escape. He gives me a bow and trigger. And finally we can breathe a bit. And I lose initiative, but idan-cool goes first on purpose. I think may as well go second always against Night's Watch wall defense. Okay. What can we keep? So we have another Bowen, so I don't think we're keeping him. Woodsman, Halder, and the 2 Masons, or maybe Aemon and 1 Mason seems to be the play. If I don't keep Woodsman, it's risky, but I do get Catapult back. Is that gonna matter at any point? Am I keeping Bowen? I mean, I have 1 more Bowen. I don't have 1,000 gold. But it is also a 2-claim plot and military is super weak, so maybe actually I do have to play out stuff with dupes. Craster survives and I keep the guy with the catapult. Well, Benjen's not the worst. He's gonna gain 2 power. If I can get all of that into play, I think I can. And King's Road's a really good draw because Bravos is weak. The dragons are all Targaryen though, so Bravos is 2 regardless. Yeah. So we know Rhaegar's in hand. This guy also, okay. And then Danny will try to find something. There's still 2 gold left, which is really annoying. I was hoping the gold would be spent here so that I wouldn't need to play around events. Okay. Can't afford to bring him through shadows for a trigger. So we only have 2 triggers this round, unless we draw a shadow card with guard duty. Costs me 5 altogether, and I need 9 to play Benjen and Iron Emmet. So at the moment, I mean, I have gold for Benjen. So if I'm not gonna have gold for Iron Emmet, I can draw cards and see if I can get something cheaper. Well, that is something cheaper, to be fair. And could play the save, actually. But no, okay. 3 gold left. Well, it is what it is. Lots of strength boosts for Halder, though. Too bad the Blackbird is not here. Now, are we gonna have the action to play an event again? Or do I start? I start this time, okay. Let's see what we get. Well, could have had the gold if I'd known. I would draw that. Drogon's out. And what's Dany gonna do? She doesn't miss, unfortunately. So I think the other thing is just gonna be Viserion on the power challenge, right? Should be gaining gold here, really. I can't draw anything else that's useful. If I gained gold and then used Swan to the Watch on Woodsman, I could get 1 more gold. Which makes some difference for dominance, maybe. Maybe there's a 0 cost card. I could get Water Dancer Sword, actually. Use Sword to the Watch and then Water Dancer Sword, so maybe that was the right play. I've gained 2 gold previously, then I could replay Longclaw if something happens to Halder. So off to Galton. This guy, he's probably not gonna kill anymore. But it is to claim power, and I should be able to defend this. Here's not the best decision, though. Declaring defenders before using Halder's ability. Because he is 4, so he is in Dracarys range. And now that I've locked Dany and Viserion, basically, well, Dany most of all, that's yeah, she's there to Dracarys Halder, and now all the strength boosts go, which is really, really bad for me. Should have just invested in a 1 Halder trigger to get him to 5 and make my opponent have to make awkward decisions. Goes to 12-7. Wall is still there, though, and my power icons are still standing. And if military is done, Benjen dies, so it's not completely gone. But the problem I had here, I think my opponent's gonna pass, and the problem I had here was I can't calculate whether I have a win in a minute. If I pass really quickly, we go next round, 0 reserve for my opponent. Marvin's not in play, and wall trigger, so it is gonna be what, 12-10, and I can win on the double Morgulis turn, I think. But with Benjen triggering as well, but just instinctively thought that maybe I still had it, and once I started doing challenges, that plan was gone. I can't pass quick enough anymore, so we're just gonna have to win it here. And Drogon stands with his power icon, which is a little bit awkward. So Drogon and Viserion are both gone, so I should have dominance and the wall, which means I'm on 10. And power challenge, and any kind of unopposed, well, a power challenge alone would do it. Doing military here to see if one of them kneels. Which I think was a mistake. I should have put all of them in the power challenge really. But now I think I should have this power challenge in theory. Because of Craster's ability. If my opponent actually decided not to defend this, I need to trigger Craster immediately so that a dragon doesn't come in here, but then, yeah. I think my opponent overlooked this play here. Actually, I can bring Halder and he comes in with his ability still intact. So he will boost the strength so that I can push this challenge through. I don't think that can be stopped. There's not going to be another Dracarys or anything like that. But really, if I'd gained gold instead of drawing that extra hob and Aemon earlier, I could also bring Longclaw back in. Then I would win on the power totals. This way it's swings to 11-8, but I have both wall and dominance. And Valyrian Steel, which means I have 34 cards still left in the deck. And it's a dramatic ending, but we do squeeze ahead at the very end. So yeah, letting Benjen do that unopposed power, I think then you have two defenders, and I don't know. I need to trigger immediately Craster to also have Halder in the challenge, and then I don't know if I have enough strength boosts to win it. I think I might be a bit short actually. Yeah, had one attachment also in hand still. Sworn to the watch. So and Dragonglass Dagger. Maybe it was really close anyway. So that was a fun game, and have to say that some of the testing went easier. I did get Garrett, which was a key card, but my opponent also played this really well and stopped my plan, or more to the point, executed his plan really nicely with both with the kill pressure, which I partly stopped, and with Dragon has 3 heads. So yeah, hope you enjoyed that. That was probably the best Night's Watch game I had in this tournament, along with the round 1 against Greyjoy Filthy, which had that was 100 minutes long, I think, or 80 minutes long, something like that. Yeah, I think it was an hour 20, so just over 80 minutes I think it was, and the last round was super long because time had expired and I marshaled for half an hour. So I don't think you would have enjoyed that one as much, but this one was pretty fun. So yeah, thank you for watching and see you next time.